It's time now for our Entre Nous segment, and on the heels of the verdict of Erin Patterson being found guilty of deliberately poisoning her estranged husband's relatives, we're discussing that story as well as the risks and precautions to take when picking wild mushrooms. Solange Mougin joins me for more about this. Solange, we're discussing this because we've just had a verdict in the trial of Erin Patterson.
Yeah, we have. The 50-year-old Australian woman has been found guilty on 3 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder for serving the family of her estranged husband individual portions of beef Wellington. They were laced with the poisonous death cap mushroom, or Amanita phalloides. Now, there's been quite a lot of fascination about this tragic family drama. Worldwide news agencies have been following the 9-week court case, and they've waited with bated breath over the 6 days while the jury deliberated. Now, this has gotten me thinking about why are so many people fascinated with this case. Of course, there is the did she do it intentionally or was it an awful accident element? And there the jury was categorical in their verdict. They found that she did intentionally forage and serve toxic mushrooms. And then there's the fact that it was her in-laws and there's all that folklore that comes with that, as well as a series of lies that were uncovered by the case. But above all, I think what draws people into this case is the mushrooms. Not only is there a long history of famous and also not famous people dying from eating mushrooms. Buddha may have died from eating a poisonous mushroom. It's a disputed theory, though. Same goes for the Emperor Claudius, who, according to multiple texts, was poisoned by his 4th wife so that her son Nero could become emperor, and he did. Claudius is thought to have been killed by the Amanita muscaria, the red and white top mushroom that looks exactly like you would imagine a poisonous mushroom to look. But mushrooms can be deceiving in their looks, and I'll explain more about that in a second. So there is this long history, and this fascination as well could also come from the fact that mushroom picking is a pastime that most anyone and everyone can partake in, and many of us do. It is that horrific line between an everyday meal that could be delicious and really good for you, or potentially deadly.
Well, beyond these really well-known cases, how common is it, mushroom poisoning?
Well, luckily, mushroom murders are not that common, hence perhaps the fascination. But mushroom poisoning is more common than you might think, at least it is here in France. According to ANSES, which is the watchdog of poisoning cases in France, over 1,000 people every year are poisoned by mushrooms, and some 95% of those cases come from foraging wild mushrooms, so not industrial ones. ANSES tracks the cases every year from July to December, or the prime mushroom hunting season. As for deaths, there are generally 1 to a few deaths every year in France from poisonous mushrooms. But even with those cases that are not fatal, toxic mushrooms can do major damage to your liver, to your kidneys, and in the best case scenario, they can lead to a very upset stomach. Mycologists say it is essential to know your stuff before picking mushrooms, because the risks can be life-altering or fatal.
This one is toxic, but it doesn't matter if you mix it with the others. But these are deadly. Especially here, the Amanita phalloides, which can be all shapes. It can be white, it can be big, it can be small. It's deadly. You can't take the risk of getting that one wrong. And here we have the fool's webcap mushroom, which is very, very toxic. It destroys your kidneys. People who eat this mushroom are on dialysis for life.
Foraging for mushrooms, Solange, still is an age-old pastime here in France and around the world.
Yeah, it is. And it is a magical experience that combines forest walks or a connection to nature with a love of food. You're finding what you eat alongside the economic element. You're finding something that's expensive for free, along with the togetherness aspect. It can be great fun. And it is very much a part of France's cultural heritage. In the countryside, good mushroom spots are highly guarded secrets. People will not tell you, and they may bring you a basket of trompette de la mort or black chanterelles, but they will not say where they foraged for them. However, Even avid mushroom hunters in France know where to go if they have a doubt. Many go to the local pharmacy. Now, personally, this was something that surprised me when I moved to France, in part, and it's because in France, part of the training to become a pharmacist includes an in-depth section on funguses and mushrooms. And it is not uncommon, especially in rural areas, for people to go to pharmacies with their treasure trove just to be sure about what they've picked.
C'est pas bon.
This isn't good. This isn't either. Not edible, actually. There isn't much that can be eaten here.
If I can tell right away with the knowledge I have, I do. Otherwise, I take the mushroom, open up the books that we have available to us. This allows me to dig deeper and research the exact type and variety.
Now, there are some caveats to French pharmacists' expertise. Not all of them know all of this somewhat disappearing knowledge. City pharmacists may not have that many requests, so they may be a little bit rusty. Also, there are major caveats to an increasingly used option, or telephone apps that help you identify mushrooms. They, too, can easily get things wrong. They are not to be entirely trusted, according to mycologists or mushroom aficionados. They say be very careful with the apps. So the number one rule is, and it is a firm rule, if you are absolutely not sure of a certain type of mushroom, do not pick it. And if you have a doubt, throw it out.
That certainly would be my rule of thumb. I don't think I would trust my instincts at all. But Solange, you do have some other safety tips for us when it comes to picking wild mushrooms.
Yeah, I do. In addition to this main rule, if you don't know it, do not pick it, there are some other rules. Do not use a plastic bag when foraging. Bacteria can develop very quickly and turn an edible mushroom into a toxic one in a plastic bag. Same with older mushrooms. If it isn't young and in perfect condition, let it stay in the forest. An older mushroom's color may have faded, making it look like a safe one when actually it isn't. Get informed advice. We covered that already. Take a picture of the wild mushroom before you cook and eat it. This can help doctors identify what poison you've eaten if you do get sick. Do not eat wild mushrooms raw, and make sure that they are fully cooked, because some are dangerous when undercooked but fine otherwise when fully cooked. Don't give them to kids whose immune systems are weaker. It's more dangerous for them. Now, all of that is the scary stuff. But again, with the proper knowledge, mushroom hunting is a magical thing. It's steeped in centuries-old traditions here in France and elsewhere. And edible mushrooms are, when they are the right ones, great tasting, and they can also be incredibly good for you.
Okay, so some reasons to perhaps consider going mushroom foraging.
It's really fun. It's worth it.
I don't think I'm going to do it anytime soon.
I'll take you.
I have to say, Solange Jean, thank you very much for that in our Entre Nous segment, which you can also see previous episodes of on our website.